Hey there, garden friends, it's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. Hope you are doing well today. Today, we are planting fruit trees. So it's a very chilly morning. It's almost 11 o'clock and I'm only just now getting out here because it's still like 44 degrees Fahrenheit out here, and but this morning when I woke up it was 31 and felt a little too cold to come out. So I lazed around, had some coffee, did a brief workout, and now I'm out here to plant some trees. So what are we going to be planting today? I have 6 things actually. One of them is already out in the orchard and I'll show you when we get out there. It's our avocado tree, which has been in a pot for 4 or 5 years. So it definitely needs time to go in the ground. And then I just got all my trees from Stark Brothers. This one is not much to look at because they're ready for the winter. So they're not bare root, they are potted plants, potted trees, but they're bare without leaves because they're deciduous. So this one is a Santa Rosa plum. I already have a multi-trunk plum out there with different varieties on it. We'll go over what's already in the orchard in a few minutes. And then I have 2, these are Sunglow nectarines, and these are all dwarf trees because my area is small. I can't afford to have them get huge because I don't have the space. So we need to leave them tiny so that we can still harvest from them, but they're reachable and they're not going to overtake the area. And then I have this is a Vermilion Sunset Goji berry. Because I'm in a higher zone, I can actually grow goji, and I'm very curious. I've heard that it's a really fun plant to grow. And I've never eaten goji raw. I've only ever had them dry. So then finally I have, this is a Flame Seedless Certified Organic grape. And I already have 1 grape out here, a red seedless, but this is a second one. So gotta find a good location for it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is move all this stuff out to the garden, and then we'll start putting them in. First, I'm going to give you a little tour of what's already out there so that you know what we're adding, what we've already got that I'm going to add to, and then I'll start digging holes. Before we get to the garden, however, I've got to show you, look at this just gorgeous Japanese maple and the one right below it. These are green during the year, but they turn these beautiful reds for autumn, for the fall. I just love them. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. These colors just make my soul happy. Right next to that gorgeous redwood tree. It's so nice and green and lush. So yeah, my autumn heart that misses living back east gets very happy with these colors. And then up here we've got this poplar. Look at that. Just beautiful color. Our willows and ashes are turning this lovely yellow as well. And then my neighbors, not sure if I'll be able to get you a good shot, have those gorgeous liquid ambers back there. Just beautiful color. Okay, so it's been very cold. It's been in the 30s, low 30s every night now. That's just the norm now. So things are starting to go quiet in the garden. Just so you know now what I've got already, these are blueberries. These 2 in the pot here are lemonade, pink lemonade blueberries. This big one is a Darrow blueberry. I have a pomegranate here. Look at its pretty fall color. Back here is a grape. That's a red seedless grape. Then here we have our thornless blackberries. These are Triple Crown thornless blackberries. We have 3 here on this fence, and then there's 3 more down the way. This is another blueberry. This is a Northern High Bush, I believe. And there's another one back there that's already lost its leaves. This right here is the 5 trunk plum. On it we have, now these are grafted, that's how you get so many. We have a beauty plum, a La Rota plum, a Nubiana plum, a late Santa Rosa, and I think that's it. And it's nice, we actually did get fruit on it this year. They're all different like stages in terms of early, middle, and late, so you get a lot of fruit over a longer period of time. There's another blackberry there. This is a pear. It is a Bosc pear. I haven't gotten any fruit on this yet, and this is going to be its 5th year in the ground, so I'm going to, you know, just let it be and see what happens. But you know, if it doesn't produce anything this year, I might just change it out for something else. This is a Honeycrisp apple. This is another apple here. Actually, no, this one is the Honeycrisp. Sorry, this one is one that pollinates it, a Fuji. This is a Fuji apple here. And then we have another apple here, and I can't remember what it is. I took the tag off. But again, none of these apples have produced for us. So this is going to be kind of like their last year. If they don't give us anything, then I'm going to pull them out and make way for something else that does give us fruit. Okay, so this is the bed that was dahlias this year, and the frost has definitely got them, which is what you expect. This stuff up front here, with the exception of this dahlia that rebloomed, re-sprouted, these are straw flower that I planted, and they'll be just fine. And also scabiosa, those are all cold hardy annuals. The dahlia foliage is starting to die back, which is expected because it's been cold. Here's all of our fragrant stock, and then these are all the other wonderful filler plants that we've got. Everything looks really good. It's all growing. I have had a lot of damage from birds, but that's how it goes. So I've got more stuff started. I'll just pop it in the ground and protect it with cloches this time. Okay, so this is an avocado tree. About maybe 5 years ago now, we popped open an avocado to eat it at lunch, and there was already a sprout coming out of the actual avocado seed. So we popped it in some water, and it grew into this plant, and it's gotten like really no help at all. Like, I water it only occasionally. It's in there with hardly any soil. Like, this thing is really a very strong plant. So I am finally going to put it in the ground. It's going to go in this bed, which has been the dahlia bed, but it's going to be the bed where I put the fruit trees. On this back fence, it's kind of hard to see them right now because they're very tiny. I have 3 more Triple Crown thornless blackberries that will cover the fence line. And then these right here, they don't look like much, are elderberries, 2 different varieties of elderberry. So the rest of this bed is empty. I was thinking of putting trees here, but I don't know, we'll see. Right now, I mean, it's not really empty. There's some radishes there that popped up that I should just go on and harvest so I can eat them. The marigolds finally biting the dust from the frost. So I've been impressed with how long they have lasted. We've had multiple frosts, some hard freezes, and they lasted forever. Chicken area, which I still haven't finished, but obviously that's not a big deal because we won't get our chicks until spring. But all of this stuff is going to break down and form some nice soil for us over the next 6 to 9 months. So this bed, all flowers for the farm. We've got feverfew. We've got some scabiosa on the end here that's been picked apart by the birds. See, they just eat the ends, pick them apart. There was stuff planted here, but you can see it's been decimated by the birds. Not a big deal. That's why you plant a lot. This is starflower here, and then there is a lot of statice in here. You can still see some of them, but they really got picked apart by birds. That's okay though. Statice is really hardy. It will come back, even in places where it looks like it's just gone. I'll still get plants out of it. So I have more, like this area here really did get decimated, so I'm going to pop some more seedlings in there. But the snapdragons are doing great. They're looking really good. And then our Chinese cabbage here, the Napa, looking beautiful. I'm really happy with this little 6 plants. I decided not to pull out because I loved them so much. Here's another bunch of, I think these are probably Orlea, got decimated by birds, but it's okay. They'll probably still come back. You'd be amazed. Nasturtium still holding on even through all the frost, which is surprising to me. And finally, again, oh, here's a spider web. This is Orlea, and actually that's the Orlea, but this is the Daucus and the Animagus. Birds really liking it, but it's all right. Look at that. It's still looking really healthy and really good. And then this is strawflower. The rest of this is a row of strawflower, and this is Phacelia, also known as bee's friend, planted in between here. Okay, so I'm gonna go get a shovel, get the new trees, and let's start getting them in the ground. That didn't take too long. It was enough for me to work a pretty good sweat though. So let me show you what I put where. Okay, so you can see the stakes now standing here. This is the Santa Rosa plum. And these two are the nectarines. I think they're called sun gold. There's the avocado. And I think it's gonna do fine there. And then I put the goji berry down here. So everything planted. This thing will get big and I can actually tie it up to these two end posts if I need to. The rest of this row, come gardening season, will be fruits and vegetables. Same with all these once we're done with spring harvest. You'll notice in the alleyways, there is grass growing. That's coming from the straw. I'll probably come in here and just kind of hack it down or pull it up just so that it doesn't get too crazy and start spreading over into the garden beds. That's how I keep the seed bank low in them. And I also just wanted to show you, after three years of gardening here, look at this soil. It is black. It is kind of fluffy. There's enough clay in it that helps it retain some moisture, which is really good here in a place that where we have a drought constantly. So I'm really pleased with this soil. It's great. I think it's going to continue to get better and better. I do not till in these beds. They just get broad forked sometimes and new compost added to the top, but only usually like an inch. So yeah, they are happy beds. In my root vegetable bed here, I'm out of radishes, so I'm going to sow some more radish today. Carrots are looking good. You know, the birds are eating some of them just like they do all the other stuff. Got some weeds growing in here, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get some decent decent run of carrots out of here. There's a bunch of different varieties in here. And then the onions, doing great. And these crazy potatoes that apparently were hiding way deep in the soil. The broccoli, not really doing much. I don't know if I'm gonna get any heads. It's probably too late in the season when I popped them in, but that's all right. I'm only leaving these potatoes because I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen. I think they'll probably just rot because the potatoes around here, you know, we get, in the wintertime, even though we're bone dry most of the year, we get all of our rain in the winter, and so this bed will be just saturated. So I don't know how those potatoes will do, but experiment. And then the asparagus patch, which I need to weed. And here's the thing about weeding. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't mind it. If you come in and you just, I mean, obviously if it gets out of control like it's out at the farm right now, that feels daunting. But if you just come in and every couple of days, like sweep through, if you have a little hoe, you can just kind of hoe these away. It's not a big deal. Yeah, quick and easy. And then the plants just stay happy because they don't have to compete for resources. This is not a weed. This is actually a ranunculus. Apparently a leftover corm. I'm gonna leave it. Same with that guy. Because vegetables love flowers. So we'll get some flowers here to look pretty in the springtime. And they were not intentional. Speaking of flowers, I am also going to pop in, I don't think I'm gonna do that right now, but I have a lot of narcissus bulbs left over. I'm gonna pop a bunch in around each of the fruit trees that I just planted, because narcissus acts in a way allelopathic to grass. It will prevent grass and weeds from growing around your fruit trees, which is great because that actually helps your fruit trees stay healthier and they don't get suffocated by weeds. I have that problem around my apple and pears, so I'm going to try to clear all that out, weed all that, and then put some narcissus around those as well. Plus, then it's something pretty in the springtime because you'll get the narcissus coming up in the spring, followed shortly by the blooms of your fruit trees. So yeah, it's a pretty combination and it's a beneficial combination. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to go grab some radish seeds and go on and get those sown, but then gotta head inside. It's a baking day. I'm going to be making sourdough pumpkin scones, starting the dough for sourdough bread, because that doesn't get baked till tomorrow because it's got to rise. And starting the dough for sourdough cinnamon rolls. Those are also for tomorrow. So coming up this week, more work out at the farm and the rain barrel work. I'm still waiting for that to arrive. I've got pretty much everything else I need, I think, here. And then a bunch of holiday baking. I want to share with you guys my fresh cranberry recipe, as well as an heirloom recipe in my family for a sweet corn pudding that is always the hit at my house, except for with my oldest son. He does not like custards or puddings. They gross him out, the texture, so he doesn't eat it, but everybody else loves it. So I'll be sharing that with you. It was my grandmother's recipe, and I've been making it every year since I've been out of the house on my own. Even when I was in college and we did Friendsgiving, I made this dish, so it means a lot to me. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.